His name is a mixed martial artist, weighing in at 170 pounds. From SBGi, presenting Victor Cotlau.
Cage Legacy 10 here in the Good Counsel Hall in Drimnagh, Dublin. We are in the welterweight division. We've got Stephen Mullen, who's been in the cage a while, waiting on Victor Cotlau just to make his way to the cage. But he is in there now, and your referee is Decky Larkin. I am Noel O'Keefe calling the action alongside Richard Kiley and Phil Campbell. Mullen is in the orange rash guard, and Cotlau is in the all black and red.
Mullen
looking for a takedown.
Mullen under pressure straight away. Good wrestling being illustrated by Vitor here.
And Vitor, you only have to look at that corner, Richard, and you might get an idea of his style of fighting.
Yeah, he says quality corner there with Sergey and Nikolai.
Stephen Mullen with the open guard here, perhaps trying to shift the hips and set something up. Vitor doing the right thing by pushing him against the cage, trying to take away the movement of the hips of Stephen Mullen.
Mullen just trying to work his back up, but as he does that, Vitor just pulling him back, not allowing him, scooching away from the cage.
What you seen there was brilliant, but very subtle from Vitor. As soon as Stephen put his hand down to base, he just grabbed the wrist and took it out from underneath him. Very good fight IQ, very good fight intelligence there by Vitor.
And Mullen staying calm on the bottom here, not exerting too much energy himself, just maybe working his arm out, maybe looking for an armbar here, potentially there.
Oh, he's belly down on it, that could be it. But Vitor steps over wonderfully. What strength from Vitor just to swing Stephen Mullen with him like a seesaw.
He literally treated him like a baseball bat and swung him across the cage.
Strength and technique, because he also did very well to escape the armbar after essentially launching him across the cage.
Now we have Mullen on top now, working his top game. In the corner of Stephen Mullen, we have Ben Davies, one of the top coaches. Again, you can see Mullen, something I always like seeing is the fighter acknowledging his coach, listening to what's being said.
Momentarily a triangle threatened there from Vitor. Now Stephen made posture.
Vitor looking for that again, just trying it.
Stephen Mullen either needs to stack here or follow the hips. He needs to stack down heavy.
He's got the leg over. I think he's going to try and rip the arm out and go belly down here.
Mullen needs to step over to defend this.
Right. Steps over as you were calling for.
Very clear and concise instructions being shouted from Mullen's corner. He's following him to a T.
Needs to get both those legs over. I think it may just be that tight that he may not be able to get the other leg over.
Looking for an inverted triangle.
Yeah, an inverted triangle possibly there, Richard. Decky Larkin, the referee, just looking closely because it is a position where an explosion could result in an armbar of sorts here. Vitor on the bottom.
Good positional work from referee Decky Larkin there, just keeping an eye on the action.
10-second count goes on as the out potentially. The elbow was bent and he's making the adjustments there now. Richard Grimace beside me in commentary and Stephen Mullen steps across. That looked almost there, but the arm I think was just facing the right direction for Mullen and the wrong direction for Vitor to apply it, but that was almost right on the buzzer.
I thought his arm was broke.
Just clearing the cage, Decky Larkin getting us ready here for the second round between Victor Cotlau and Stephen Mullen. That armbar looked very close. But as Phil was saying, just in between rounds, he looked like he just turned the hand so that the elbow didn't extend.
Stephen Mullen being very aggressive here at the start of the second round.
Change of levels and a
Beautiful
big sprawl.
Great anticipation of the takedown and just flared the hips out wonderfully. Maybe looking to be in on a 10-finger choke, a Dars perhaps.
Looks like it's under the chin.
He maybe roll with the anaconda. If he hooks the leg here, and walks round. Wasn't quite able to get it. Just maintaining that seatbelt grip, and what's great about that seatbelt grip is you can switch between the Dars and the anaconda from there.
Started of the second round, you could really see Stephen Mullen putting the pressure on Vitor, and Vitor tried to change levels, but Mullen was fully aware of it, the sprawl, and that's the position we're in now.
He's maintaining that seatbelt grip well.
Looking for the trip, the outside trip, and again, as you said, Phil, going back to the threat of the choke and potentially.
Momentarily, we thought they may be looking for the high elbow guillotine or the 10-finger choke.
I looked at there, but he abandoned it, and it's Vitor now trying to get the takedown himself, but a wide base by Mullen. Vitor looks tired and gets taken down easily there.
Dropped levels wonderfully there to pick the ankle.
I was just about to say before you got there, no, Vitor looks fatigued.
Hip pressure. Turn him against the cage. Hip pressure.
And a lot of pressure by Mullen, constantly making Vitor work now. And
Vitor has those overhooks. All you need to do in a situation like that is just roll your wrist round and come on the inside, and you've let go there.
Mullen using the head pressure. That's a really effective. It's really unpleasant when you're on the ground and someone is digging their head right under your chin.
Stephen may look to posture here. Needs to be wary of the hips and follow the hips of Vitor wherever they go, because we know he has that arm bar in his locker. Stephen doing the right thing here by stacking up.
Head up, Mullen. Head up.
he's just waiting for the opportunity to land shots from top here, Mullen, but he's content where he is. He's doing enough work as well here to keep Decky Larkin satisfied as the referee, not to stand it up.
Alternating to the head and the body shots.
Posture up again, Mullen.
Very strong showing in the second round here from Stephen Mullen.
Turn him against the cage, Mullen. Walk your knees to your right.
Needs to be wary when the guard is open of Vitor and follow those hips wherever they go, staying square. Needs to square off.
He's got to watch that arm again, and
Victor for the armbar again.
Stay on his head.
Vitor, although maybe fatigued, still showing he's dangerous from his back, looking for submissions.
The danger here is Stephen doesn't really have space to step over into.
He has the arm, he just needs to stretch it out.
Again, Mullen threatening with the...
This could be it, gentlemen.
Doesn't quite have the angle.
Again, time may escape him again, yeah.
There you go, now finish.
He's out now, this Mullen, but again, that's all really he's offered in the second round, Vitor. Stephen Mullen put it on him from the opening bell in the second round and casually struts, almost billionaire style, back to his corner. The third round about to get underway here. It'll be interesting to see what is left in the gas tank of the SBGi man. He looked tired at the start of the second, spent the majority on his back. Mullen again looking to put the pressure on, and Vitor almost hands down, leaning back, and
Stephen will open up a little bit more with the boxing here.
Vitor's chin's up in the air. You need to get that guard up and his chin down.
And there's no setup with that takedown from Vitor. He's not using his strikes to set it up, so he's essentially shooting in blind and telegraphing somewhat.
I'd imagine that's a lot to do with the fatigue.
the hands down, swinging wild uppercuts. But again, we find ourselves in a position where we started the second round with Stephen Mullen on top in the north-south position. Vitor does well, using his head as position there to change the position and end up on top and side control here of Stephen Mullen.
Stephen needs to be careful holding on to that head, but uses the knee shield to try and turn back in and reclaim at least half guard. Stephen Mullen does well to reclaim guard.
Just start climbing and attacking with your submission game now, but you have to go long to work, so let's start attacking, Mullen. Just attack.
Vitor just sitting in the guard now, the open guard of Stephen Mullen, who has both feet on the hips.
Yeah, I'd like to see Victor be a bit more active now. You really need to start putting the pressure and looking to get a finish here, because I think Mullen has the first two rounds.
That right hand in front of his face.
You could certainly score it that way. I wonder though, with that submission attempt right on the buzzer of the first round, if that leaves a lasting impression. And just as a judge might be a little undecided and he's riding 10 in one box and 9 in the other, that could be a swing. So Vitor potentially could be 2 down, and this time it's Mullen looking for an arm.
Open the hips up there and spam wonderfully.
Stand up. Attack for someone and then look to stand up. You get your back here.
He's doing well, shrimping out on that hip, either to set up some sort of submission attempt or even perhaps force a stand up from there if he bases out and gets up correctly.
Vitor, he's probably going to need to do a little bit more than this, Richard, than just sitting in the guard, and needs to maybe try and land some shots and work his way up.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's just preventing Mullen from going for a submission. He's not landing anything of note, so he's not attacking. I'd like to see him be a bit more active. It's Mullen that's looking more dangerous off his back.
Stephen Mullen constantly working, constantly shifting hips, opening up the guard, popping out on one hip, trying to find something. forcing the action, forcing Vitor to follow him.
Yeah, it's good control by Victor, but like I said, I'd like to see him pushing up and landing some shots.
That's one aspect of it. The fight is taking place where Vitor wants it. He is on top. So although he might not be improving the position, he is keeping Mullen where he wants him. Just as we say that, Mullen is looking for the arm himself here.
Vitor may use the smash pass here.
And Mullen looking to end this one on top.
Big strikes being landed to finish the round.
We're going to go to the judges' scorecards. Stephen Mullen, the fight may have only lasted 9 minutes, but it felt like he was in there for about 20 while it was waiting, but he didn't allow that get to him and put on a good performance here at Cage Legacy 10.
Appreciation for both fighters. After 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecard. Judge number 1 scored this bout 29-28, Cotlau. Judge number 2 scored this bout 29-28, Mullen. And judge number 3 has scored this 29-28. For your winner,